Brian? Great, how are you? He did just briefly mention that. Right back. One of yours?
I forgot to do my job.
Oh. So,
I forgot to print it.
thank you.
So we divided and counted.
Okay. Cool.
Sounds good.
We'll give Valencia a minute.
We're all standing up. Hey, you're good. You're not standing up.
What's that? Yeah, oh yeah, good time. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. If everyone can stand, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silent reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Lewizinski, roll call please.
Mrs. Smith Gomez. Here. Mr. Kuza.
Here.
Mrs. Wells. Present. Mr. Crow.
Right on time.
Mr. Garcia.
Here.
Let the record show all are present and accounted for.
Thank you very much. We've got public participation at board meeting. I see two, Mr. Volbert first. The second item, Ivan and Sharon Key, that is regarding open enrollment, which is not a agenda item. So you can make a comment during public comment at the end of the meeting. So you'll still have time to make your comment, but that's not at this particular time. So Mr. Volbert, come on up, state your name and address. You've got 3 minutes.
Rick Volbert, 9221 Parkway Drive, Highland. This has to do with item Roman numeral 9, capital B, vouchers. This has to do with specifically page 3 and page 6. This is not intended to be some kind of formal inquiry. It's just a quick question. I'm just interested in getting what reply I might get. If I get a reply, if I don't, I don't. But Mr. Smith attended. It's referred to as a capital meeting. I'm not trying to be a comedian. I'm not. This capital meeting, you went to the Capitol, or was it an important meeting that we would have called a capital or important meeting?
All that was is it was, I don't know why I got Capitol meeting. It was, I went to the Capitol building for a meeting for the General Assembly.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now, the number shown is 198.99. I'm not here to bicker about the 198. Would that be the mileage that you got? Did you stay the day or the night?
Just
So there was no hotel involved?
No hotel, it was just,
There
it's
was
IRS.
meals involved?
It was taken care of by the group I went with.
And it wasn't a conference that you would pay a fee to go to this conference?
Correct. It was literally just the IRS mileage from Highland there and back.
Not a problem. Now, this has to do with our board president. He attended, it's called an ISBA meeting. It refers specifically to lodging. I can read, you can read, we can all read. It's 208.48, I get it. Now, it's not intended that it ought to be here. I'm simply making an inquiry. Did you submit an bid, not a bid, but an amount of money for your mileage? Or did you ride with somebody, so that wasn't involved?
Mileage is not involved.
Okay, so you didn't have that particular. Did you stay the night?
Yes, that's what I was.
Okay, now, was there a fee to attend the conference?
No.
There was no fee at all. It was free. It was part of the money that we pay for as our membership to SBA. Okay, that's all I had to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Volbert. Takes us to minutes. Entertain a motion
to approve, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba.
I'll support Mr. Kuba's motion,
Thank you, Mr. Kroll. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That takes us to correspondence.
Yeah, none at this time, Mr. President.
Very good. So you want to follow up with the superintendent's report?
Yeah, a couple real quick things, and then we're going to bring Southbridge up. Mr. Beveridge is going to talk tonight for a couple minutes. But before I do that, I just want to, first of all, wish everybody a safe spring break. We have a couple more days, and then everyone gets next week off for spring break. And because they have the Monday after the holiday off as well. So just hopefully everybody has a safe, restful time and get back for those last 7-8 weeks, that tough push to the very, very end. So we're getting close. And then real quick, I just want to mention there's been a lot of talk about whether we're going to open enrollment another year. It looks like we're going to open enrollment another year. For our board policy, you don't have to hold a specific vote on that. It's just you allow the designee, myself or Dr. Erdelak, to post those numbers. We'll have to post the numbers that we'll take and the dates and when we'll do it. So we're going to talk and get the dates exactly down on when we're going to do it with the numbers. That'll all be on our website. Hopefully the beginning of April we'll have all that out. Anything to add to that, Dr. Erdelak?
Nothing to add. I do have, some preliminary numbers and some recommendations, but we can share that when appropriate.
Great. Thank you.
And then really, Mr. Beveridge, you want to come on up? Do a highlight Southbridge Elementary tonight. We did Warren last month, and Mr. Beveridge is going to talk a little bit. We told him to keep it at 5 minutes on highlights of some things going on at Southbridge Elementary.
Yeah.
And you have power back too.
We
Lost
do.
power today.
Well, I was going to talk about some of the authentic experiences students had, and today was one of them. We decided to look back, what was it like in Pioneer times when there was no electricity. So from 9 to 1:30, that's what we did. No, actually, it actually worked out. It was really smooth. The kids were great. We didn't have any lunches in the cafeteria. They weren't ready for that, but they scrambled around and got lunches for everyone. So yeah, it was a little later, but it worked. So. But thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to share just a little bit about what we're doing, both instructionally and also to help involve our parents in the community at Southbridge. The first part is, and I think Warren was this too, we've been training our teachers in the science of reading, and then teachers have been using those strategies, especially K2, to help build those foundations in reading so that they're in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, they're at grade level reading. And so, it's a process so that we're at the starting point. I think teachers are able to use those strategies and evaluate the effectiveness of those. Also, since we're a school-wide Title I school now, we've been using those resources at the reading block at every grade level to establish small groups so that we can have more targeted instruction for students. And also on a weekly basis, we have professional learning communities with each grade level. I meet with the grade level. We talk about student achievement, instructional strategies, and really it's just a place to brainstorm to improve. So, what's working in my classroom, and then maybe the teacher next week takes that. And this year we're also we've always looked at grade level improvement, but individual students. So are they mastering the essential standards? And if they're not, what are we doing to help get them there? Also, we take that learning, and then there's some authentic, I'm not going to share all of them, just a couple. Just yesterday we had they call it Wax Museum, where 4th graders did a biography about a famous person from a famous Hoosier. And then they had little science fair boards and dressed up. And then not only did parents come, but all the classrooms came and listened to those students talk about Neil Armstrong. Some might said, well, they're not really Hoosier, Reggie Miller, but I think that was, big man, yeah, right. So, but the students did a wonderful job and were able to showcase what they're doing, that application of writing. They also had a group from the Indy 500 come. They came, set up stations, showed students what kind of jobs you might have, what math's involved in the Indy 500, the safety equipment, and then had a real Indy car out back that kids were able to go look at and to see, which to me was interesting. I thought they would be bigger. Like it was small in my mind. I thought there was a lot bigger. And he said even the cars now, because this was not a new one, or even smaller. So that was kind of interesting.
Was it turning on the engine that actually knocked out the power?
Well, what I told the students today that knocked out the power, we were in an awards assembly, and the power went out. And I said,
the heat's been off in our office for about 3 days. Something's just wrong, and they were fixing it. I said, oh, boys and girls, that's what happened. I didn't really know what happened. That's what I said, so no. Also, we established last year, again, to help bring in the community, a monthly awards assembly where we, school-wide, respect, responsibility, and ready to learn. So we recognize students in grades K through 5 for those aspects each month. And then for 5th grade, we have a student of the month that they embody all those traits. And then at the very end of the year, we'll have a student of the year. We also just finished our One School, One Book. I know a number of schools have done that. We had the author visit last Friday, and she came. We raised money. I think that this is what strikes me about Southbridge is how we come together. We raised money. HEF gave us money for books, the author visit, and our PTC, but we were still a little short. Authors are expensive. We had a penny board, and we raised $4,300 in 1 week of change, which you can't imagine how much change that is. So that's another example of how we come together at Southbridge. Tomorrow night we're having a literacy night where parents and students will come. Teachers have a variety of literacy activities, and they'll go through those with their children. We helped the American Heart Association earlier in the year. Students raised almost over $12,000 for the American Heart Association. We also have an active parent-teacher organization. Earlier in the year, we had a party on the playground where parents, grandparents, anyone involved with the student comes. We have lunch, Kona Ice, the DJ, well, the DJs, myself and my custodian, but we're playing music, right? And then coming up here in April, we'll have our fun fair where what I've heard, at least that's what students have asked, the highlight is pie in the principal's face. So thank you again for letting me share just a little bit about Southbridge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I see Judy Caddick is here, and I missed I was in Indianapolis for that, for the lobbying in the Capitol building. So I missed our last Highland Education Foundation. I want to kudos to the trivia night. Fantastic. It gets better every year. We raise more money every year, but I missed the total. Do we know what the total was we raised, Judy?
It was a little over $13,000.
$13,000 for grants. Awesome.
But
Great
we
night.
awarded over $18,000 in
Yeah.
grants this year, so.
Perfect. Yeah, great night. Thank you.
Do you remember what team finished in second?
Stop it. Stop it. You're out of order, sir. You're out of order.
They don't even let me play, because
Technically, wouldn't that be the first loser?
Come on.
Somebody's got to be the first loser. Somebody's got to lead the...
Somebody's got to get this meeting back on track. All right, we're going to move on to board reports. Ms. Gomez.
Hello, yes, I attended the NICEC meeting last Wednesday, March 13th. To be honest, there was not a lot going on, which we're kind of grateful for this time of year. March is Disability Awareness Month, so I want to say thank you to all of our NICEC staff and everyone in the school town of Highland for celebrating that in all their unique ways they've done it. One of the big things about the separation, I know this seems odd, but one of the big things that they were concerned about the separation of Maryville from NICEC was the lunches, breakfast and lunch at the school, and they have now paired with River Forest, and they have a chef there that comes up with fancy menu items, and just saying that would be a cool thing to do. So that was neat to hear about. They have a new fire and safety evacuation plan for Eagle Park School, and then we heard a presentation on instructional coaching. So that was about it for me.
Thank you. Mr. Kuva?
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Ms. Ballard?
Thanks, nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Kroll?
The Redevelopment Commission has met quite frequently over the past month. Mostly exec sessions discussing potential developments through the town. They did have a public study session yesterday where they were viewing a potential vendor for a website. To be determined, I guess. From a park board perspective, the the study session was canceled. There was a special exec session to discuss a personnel issue. That was last week, and then we have an upcoming meeting, I don't know what Thursday we're on. I think it's this Thursday. Time flies. This Thursday, yeah, this Thursday, so. Busy week busy month for Pat.
Is there any movement on the playground that, was it NIPSCO or BP that?
Well, it was NIPSCO predominantly. There was supposed to be a meeting last week at the site. It was canceled. The evening before the meeting was to be held, and that got rescheduled to, I think, tomorrow, mid-afternoon. So hopefully we have some movement. Right now, not too much. So.
Have any plans on doing anything with the old Ultra or any other significant potential businesses coming to the area that you know of or that you can share with us?
Yeah, nothing with legs yet. Just a lot of possibilities right now.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
That's it.
Great, thank you. I attended last week the Highland Griffith Chamber of Commerce meeting. They tried something new. Instead of a lunch meeting, they did a breakfast meeting to see if they would bring a different group of business leaders out. It was well attended over at the Center for Performing Arts. And they had United Way's Level Up program presenting at that meeting. If you're not familiar, they identify folks who are working but need to level up their skill sets to get a better paying job, and provides case management services and job training and job support. It's a really effective program. It's really great, but they're always looking for people who are interested in that. So if we have any families in Highland that are looking to upskill, I would encourage that they visit the United Way of Northwest Indiana website and take a look at the Level Up program. Okay, that takes us to financials. Ms. Adams.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Good evening.
Letter A is the treasurer report. A copy of that report was included in your board packet. I'm requesting approval of the report as presented.
Entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I move to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Vouchers, please.
A copy of the final voucher docket was also included in your board packet. I recommend that this report be approved as well.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Donations.
Okay, we had one at the middle school from Highland Middle School PTO in the amount of $3,544 for girls basketball. The rest of the donations are for the high school. We have Culver's. They donated ice cream, which is valued at $700 for the Senior Honors Award Night. Higher Electric donated $500 for the spaghetti dinner. Kathy and Ken and Gotti, $25 spaghetti dinner. Various vendors donated $1,680 also for the spaghetti dinner. Tea Club, $112 spaghetti dinner. Pleasant View Dairy donated milk valued at $49.60 for that dinner. The Cleveland Cliffs donated $1,734.49 for wrestling. And the Highland High School Athletic Adult Boosters donated $625 plus another $500 donation for the Athletics General Fund. I request your approval to accept those donations.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes.
I move we accept the donations as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Any discussion?
It's always impressive to me to see large employers like Cleveland Cliffs making donations to the school. I think it just shows the value of education, that it's valued in the workplace still, and that individuals or couples here. I mean, just the wide variety of organizations and individuals that are supporting our students and our school town is just always impressive to me. So, of course, then let's make sure that we get a proper thank you back to all of our donors.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Takes us to Special and Support Services, Buildings and Grounds.
A copy of that report was included in your board packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any question or comments? Very good. That will take us to curriculum. Dr. Erdelak.
Good evening. There's no curricular items in the agenda today, but in your board packets you will find details for the high school band and choir trip that's planned for next year over fall break. Since it is an overnight and out-of-state trip, I ask the board approve it as presented.
Thank you.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Professional leaves, please.
I just ask the board to approve the professional leaves as presented.
Thank you.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez.
I'll support.
Thank you, Ms. Ballard. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Personnel, Dr. Smith.
Yes, retirements and resignations. Luann Keltner, retirement as our Title I coordinator for the corporation, May 24th, 2024. And Ashley Jerzak, resignation as a social studies teacher at the middle school, March 2nd, 2024. I so recommend.
Thank you.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll.
Second.
Who do I give it to? Did you both say it? I'll give it to Ms. Gomez. I think I heard her a little bit louder.
Usually the case.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Takes us to appointments, please.
Yes, Sierra Lee, appointment as the girls track coach at the high school for the 2023-24 school year. Gabriella Lalich, appointment as a dependent care aide at Southridge, February 19, 2024. And Brian Lukic, appointment as a volunteer JV baseball coach at the high school for the 2023-24 school year. I so recommend.
Thank
Mr.
you.
President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the appointments as presented.
Thank you, Ms.
Support.
Ballard. Thank you, Mr. Kuba.
Gotta jump in and
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Very good, thank you, everyone. That will now take us to comments. We will take comments from the audience. Please come on up, state your name and address. You have 3 minutes. And just as a reminder for, I believe it's Mr. and Mrs. Key, this is the appropriate time to come on up. So come on up, whoever's ready.
My name is Sharon Key. I reside at 9616 Hampton Drive, apartment 20 in Highland, Indiana. I came to the meeting to get clarification about the open enrollment, and I believe that gentleman did answer my question, that you all are not taking any votes tonight and whether to keep it or not keep it. So my understanding is that it is going to be open enrollment for the 2024-2025 school year. Okay.
Do you want me to answer this? Yeah, at this time, yes, we'll put the number, it depends on the grade level. Certain grade levels, we can't fit any students going forward. Certain grade levels, we can. So we're going to post those numbers on our website in the next week or two.
Okay, I do have that information. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Could we have Dr. Smith maybe explain for those out-of-town students the process for next year?
How to go about it when we go
Once
live
they've
on
been
it?
accepted, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, Dr.
Okay, do you mind if we pause you for just a second?
Sure. I mean, when we, basically what we're waiting for from the board is just approval on the amount of students who will take in at each grade level. And then we're going to open up for a certain time period. It'll be a little bit different last year. That's going to be our recommendation anyway, because last year it drug into the summer quite a great deal, in which case it did present some difficulty with staffing, trying to figure out the right number of staffing, and also as a courtesy for the districts that are around us where some of our students are coming from. to make sure that they can adjust staffing as needed also. So then when it comes down to the actual process, we take forms of residency just like we would if you were within the city limit or the town limits. We ask for we basically the same things you would take to your home district to register, and we ask for that. We do ask for your current attendance records, current discipline records, things of that nature.
Grades.
And grades as well. And really, the only thing that, per our policy, that can knock somebody out without is an incomplete file, not within inside that deadline, an expulsion within inside the last 12 months, or a habitual attendance issue over the course of the year, because we realize that you're going to be traveling further to get into your neighborhood school here in Highland than where you're currently located. So that's a determining factor too. So we have a committee that looks at all those applications, and then let's say there is, let's say that there's 10 slots open at 5th grade, and then we happen to get 15 kids in that particular grade, then we would run, if we couldn't absorb all 15, then we would run a random lottery that we would do publicly in front of, so that we could run it fairly, and it wouldn't be a first come, first serve. It would be everybody's in that pool, and the first 10 come out. And then we'd also have that additional wait list in case, because as we found out, some people that got accepted last year, by the time August came around, or even upon approval, they said, no, upon further review, we can't make transportation happen, or what have you. So that's the skinny, and that's the short example.
Just a follow-up though. So if you're an existing student who's already been admitted,
Yep, good question.
Looking at next year, right?
Yes, once a Highland student, always a Highland student, unless something were to happen attendance-wise, or expulsions can impact future continued enrollment.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Ms. Caddick.
Judy Caddick, 3726 Manor Drive. I just had a couple things I wanted to say. I wanted to thank the school board, for one, for your attendance, for most of you were at the trivia night, and your support. It's near and dear to my heart to do this as a co-founder of the Highland Education Foundation, but also as a substitute teacher for Highland. I get to go usually to almost all the elementary schools, and I also work at the middle school. So I was fortunate to be subbing at the middle school a week or so ago when the 8th grade students had something called Adulting Day. And I just wanted to commend the 8th grade teachers. As a former middle school teacher, we used to do Career Day, and I know what it takes to organize it, and what they did for this Adulting Day was above and beyond. It was so well organized, very well attended. The opportunity for the students to, realize, gee, this is really, rent costs that much? And gee, if I'm making $15 an hour, which is minimum wage, but not in Indiana, I'm making $30,000 a year. That sounds like a lot. Oh, wait, I can't do this, I can't do this. What, my car insurance? I have to have renter's insurance? What is that? It was amazing. And then to have all the people from different professions, everything from blue-collar workers to an MD. So they have a wide variety of professions represented there. The students got to ask them questions. It was just so well done. I also was able to attend the author visit at Southbridge. And it just, what an opportunity for those kids. So we're always pleased to do whatever we can as a Highland Education Foundation to support our teachers, but we couldn't do it without the support of the board as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Van Solis, and I reside at 3131 Lincoln Place. I represent the Highland Hurricanes. On behalf of our team, team, I want to extend our sincere gratitude to the school town of Highland for providing us access to the pool through our fall and winter season. This season, we had the privilege of 71 swimmers on our competitive team, and among them, 42 qualified to compete on our championship team. We are incredibly proud to announce that our swimmers participated in competitions at the divisional, state, and national level. Notably, we achieved several first-place podium finishes at our divisional and state meets, and we have talented swimmer who will be participating in Olympic time trials in June. In addition to our competitive team, we successfully enrolled 45 learn-to-swim kiddos ages 3 to 10. We are also delighted to report that our special needs program experienced significant growth, doubling enrollment to accommodate 8 swimmers with autism. It was a pleasure this season to witness numerous swimmers on the Trojan High School team that had been previously swam with the Highland Hurricanes, making us proud to serve as a stepping stone into the high school season. So once again, we express our heartfelt appreciation to the school town of Highland for your support and collaboration. We eagerly anticipate the opportunity to continue to working together for many seasons to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick Forward, 9221 Parkway Drive. I've got a couple folders to pass out. There's 8, so not enough for everybody, but almost everybody. I'm going to wait just a moment for this to wind its way around the table. Okay, there's 4 handouts, there's 4 pages on the inside. I'd like to go to the third one. In other words, there's an upper page, yes. There's the next page, one's called 3, one's called 4, that's irrelevant. There's a page which has printing on front and back. This has to do with heritages, and not necessarily, there's 50 listed here. Can I guarantee that our entire student body represents the 50? No, I'm just trying to pick out the largest number that I could. I'd like to just point out, and we do recognize certain of our groups of students, and I'd like to just point out, it wouldn't be, in my opinion, it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of, here's a grouping. Let's start at the very top here, January. Australia, Chinese, Finnish, Korean. The next month, February. African American, Estonian, Iranian, Japanese, Serbian. You get the idea. So grouping, month by month, by month, by month. Now what do you say? Well, summertime comes. Well, you'd have to roll with summertime, perhaps into August and September. But it's like, and what would the methodology be of the recognition? We have various ways of recognizing. We've got the mailers that are sent out, and we might just mention, this is the month for this group of students, this particular heritage. Then we kind of recognize everybody. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and like it kind of draws attention. And can I say that there's somebody from Pakistan? I don't know that. Is there somebody from Russia? I don't know that. I don't have access to the records that you have. So all I'm trying to say is I've tried to lay this out in a very organized and systematic way. Now, that top sheet, the very top sheet, which has got an upper spreadsheet and it's got a lower spreadsheet. This shows at the bottom the school year 22-23. At the top, the school year 23-24. I'm going to focus in on column E, F, G, H, and I. So I'm picking on Highland, of course Highland. I'm going to pick on Highland. So when we had incoming students, when you're in the bottom one, 22-23, we had 58. When we get to this year 23-24, the number is 177. Now that's not an attempt to try to point out a mistake of year 133. This includes the students that were part of the transfer students. Somebody could be working in Hammond, brings his child into the Highland schools. So anyway, as you roll on, let's go to the ending column. This is column I. The difference is you take into account the students that are coming in and the students that are going out. Bringing in of the new students, this grouping that we advertise for, and we have a number of students that came in, 130
time.
I'd like to know when you guys are going to get a clock that we
It
can...
was right there the whole time.
Okay, I can't see it.
It was facing you.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it was facing
It's
you the
got
whole
print
time.
size. Okay, well, I can see it now. But this
That's
is the
how it
way.
just was.
I just want you to know that when I was up here, I didn't see it.
And
Okay,
also-
all I'm saying is I didn't recognize it.
No, that's like...
I didn't recognize it, that's all I'm saying.
I got it.
So-
I understand.
I also just want to comment, Mr. Volberg, that we really took to heart your comment 2 months ago or 3 months ago about not being able to see when that 3 minutes was up, so we instituted that a few months ago. I also paused your time when you were handing out your handouts to make sure you got your full 3
Appreciate it.
minutes.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone else? All right. Well, that will take us on to comments from the board. So, Ms. Gomez, you're up.
Once again, just thank everyone for being here. We appreciate the audience and our new audience on YouTube. So, thank you.
Right?
That's correct.
So excited
We'll
to see
see
on
how it
YouTube.
worked out when we hear the reviews.
My parents will let us know. And then everyone enjoy spring break. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kuba?
Thank you, Mr. Beveridge, for the presentation. I'm the author. My wife was there too, and she loves going to the elementary schools, but that day she was like so ecstatic. I mean, it was, I came home like, what happened? Did we win the lottery? No. But it was a great day, great feedback on that. Thank you to the Highland Education Foundation too. Again, it was great attendance, great fun, always to see everybody, and great way to get the funds to help give grants to the teachers. So thank you and keep it going. Everyone have a great spring break. Hopefully it's going to be warmer. The official day of spring is today at 10:06 p.m. Just so you know. Useless trivia. That's all I have.
All we have is
Yeah, 10:06 p.m.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Ms. Ballard?
Well, as usual, thank you guys for coming. I realize you could be anywhere else on a Tuesday night, and we appreciate you being here with us. Thank you for the wonderful presentation about what you guys are doing over at Southbridge. We talked a lot about writing, and that is something that's very close to my heart. I've been writing for many, many years, all kinds of different things. I love writing, especially technical writing, which is what I do a lot of for work. So I think it's an art that's lost sometimes on people. With all the texting and the LOLs and everything else, it's nice to know that our kids are getting solid experience with it that shows them the importance of really being a good writer. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's all I have. Happy spring break, everybody. Have fun, be safe.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Carl?
Yeah, I echo Ms. Ballard's comment, so wishing everybody a safe and happy spring break. It's crazy that it's here already. This year's flying by. We have a lot of teams that are practicing right now, getting ready for the spring season, so we want to wish all of them good luck as they start, our student athletes. As we wrap the winter season, I love going to awards night and just listening to how many student athletes success stories we have, whether they're all conference or all state. We even had some all national ones this time through. So, you know, they're students first and then they're athletes. It's amazing what our students do. So I wish them good luck, and hopefully they carry their grades on through the spring season. Special thanks to the Highland Education Foundation. Trivia night, again, was a blast. Place was packed. Competition was fierce. And I want you to know that it's with great pride and with great, the sense of dignity that I have to represent everybody on this dais as the top finishing team. It's a great responsibility that I shoulder. And I just want you to know, thank you for hosting it. It was wonderful to be there. Again, talking about our students, right? The tomorrow night Senior Honors Award, this used to be the luncheon that was there on Saturday, or Sundays, but now it's an ice cream social. So it's going to be great to see all the seniors come out that have had academic successes through the years And again, when we see these kids, they're the kids that are in the band and the orchestra and the choir and the theater across many sports. It's amazing how many things our students do and yet have such great success. And then to hear the colleges and universities that these kids are going to go to, or the trades that they're going to take up, right? It's amazing to see and hear what the plans are. Our foreign language department at the high school celebrated their honor society induction last week. So that was fun. It was amazing to see the seniors coming and get their accords. We're already prepping for graduation. That's going to come quick. I was able to attend a band, orchestra, and choir concert last month. That was fantastic. Thanks to the student council, all the money that we approved that was for donations was received in for a family in need that they did that for. So thanks for that. Thanks to the Lake County Public Library. The eclipse is coming and the glasses are being handed out. So we're getting ready to have some science taught. Thanks to Mr. Beveridge for your presentation. Always fun to hear all the things that are going on for our schools. And a special thanks you missed for congratulations.
Yep.
I
You missed
feel
one.
like I always talk about her, so.
Yeah, I was going to say if they missed it.
Yeah.
I missed.
It's on our list, too.
All right, she's your friend. You say. You congratulate her because it's well worth congratulating on.
Alexandra Bastaic won another wrestling national championship in Iowa on Sunday, the juniors level. So at her weight, and she came in second the last 2 years, so she was maybe the biggest smile I've ever seen on her face at the end of that last match. So it was
Quite proud of her.
Get a load of this in the quarterfinals. She had a 2-0 decision over the Louisiana state champion. In the semifinals, she pinned the Utah state champion, and in the finals, she won 8-1 over the Illinois state champion to be the national champion for girls wrestling, 140 pounds.
Congratulations to her. And it's St. Joseph's Day. You gotta go home and plant your potatoes. My public service announcement.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Sure, go ahead.
The one thing I forgot, and I think it happened since our last meeting, is the Willy Wonka Jr.
That's right.
That was fantastic. I didn't want to forget that, because that was really, really good. I just want to say kudos to everyone involved. Yeah, that's all, Mr. President. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I think you all covered most of what I wanted to say to retirement of Keltner. Best wishes to Ms. Jerzak. Also best wishes. Mr. Beveridge, thank you for your presentation. I was really excited to hear specifically the science of reading piece. One of the things that came out of this last legislative session is making sure our kids at the 3rd grade level are passing the iRead. I'm very proud of the administrative team here as well as our staff for being proactive with that and getting our 2nd graders ready to go with the 3rd grade iRead to ensure that we've got positive scores. If I'm not mistaken, we passed the iRead at the 3rd grade level over 90% when the state average is well below that. While the new laws are going to make some changes to the way we deal with the 3rd grade iRead, I think that the school town of Highland is well positioned for that. So hats off for that. I'm also glad to hear that you didn't have someone eating fried worms at your building. That made me very happy to hear. I am looking forward to the senior honors night tomorrow and to echo about our athletes in the winter sports. It is just so impressive to see how many of our kids made all academic teams. And to me, that's always very exciting when we have scholars and athletes working and being examples in their sport of choice while maintaining their grades. Big congrats to Alex. That is just an amazing feat. And to Ms. Caddick and the team at the Education Foundation, the impact that you personally have had on so many of our students by having this vision to start the Education Foundation and bringing in other leaders from our community and putting together an event that allows people like myself and Mr. Kroll to argue I really appreciate that, and I appreciate all the money that is funneled into our buildings and support our teachers that in turn supports our students, so thank you so much. I think that will be all I have, so we will move on to signing of official documents. Our next meeting is scheduled for April 16th. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll, and the support by Ms. Ballard. All in favor, say aye.